Well, good morning, good afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you are at. Nice to see all of you here today. Great high manifestors here. So today's tutorial, it's about messages the universe reveals. So we're just going to go over some stuff bit by bit by bit. Some questions I have here, I just put them all into one. And I want to reveal some great things that can help you to definitely change and master your life by design. All right, how's everyone doing today? Great. Let's get into it. All right, questions I have. Universe telling me, reveal. Okay, abundance. What is abundance? Where does abundance come from? How do I get abundance? Well, here's what you need to know. Abundance is not what you see in your physical world. Abundance has a big thing. It begins with a cause and effect. Everything comes with a cause and effect. So if you're living in a small, tiny apartment, you don't make enough in your job, you want to make more income, you want to create a better life, okay? Your first instinct is to try to fix and do something. Abundance is a mind. If you're rich in your mind, you're going to be rich in the world. If you're rich in your head, you're going to be rich in the world. That's what you have to understand. Universe, multiverse works in this form. It's a frequency. You have abundance and you have scarcity. Those are the two forms of energy that you're going to be given out at any time. So that means to become wealthy in your mind, you have to see yourself in the mind. You got to get clear in the mind what wealth looks like to you. That's called the cause. The effect is called your world. Check this out. You know this, right? Do you know that in your head, when you are seeing an image and whatever you're thinking and you're using your imagination, are you aware that the mind that operates and sets everything up in the world doesn't know that the world is real? You know that? The mind cannot tell the difference between what's real in the mind, what's real in the world. So in other words, whatever you're doing outside of the real, what you call real world, your mind doesn't know that's real. Whatever you're doing inside of your head, your mind thinks the same thing. So your mind actually thinks what's in your head is what's happening in the world. So it begs a question. It begs a very important question. So if the mind thinks that whatever's going on in my head is going on in the world, so why does the world look real and physical to me? Again, it's the mind. What the mind does, the mind takes what's inside the imagination and it sends it through feedback loops in the form of nerve impulses, sensory input, axons, dendrites, neurons in your brain, your nervous system, electrochemical feelings, emotions they put forth, and that little tweak gives you the illusion that you're living in a real world. But again, everything is mind. Consciousness, mind, consciousness, reality. So if you want to get a rich, abundant, it starts in the head. If you're not rich in the head, you're not going to be rich in the world. It's point blank. And the beauty of all this, you don't even have to know how it's going to come into your life. Got that? Next one, the universe reveals this one. All right. Emotions. Check this out. There is this stigma going around that whenever you want to change your identity or you want to change your personal reality or your personality, whenever you want to manifest, whenever you want to clear your trauma, whenever you want to remove these limiting blocks and these things that are messing you up, these childhood traumas, these anxieties, these things that you went through in your whole life, there are a lot of things that are telling you, and there's information out there that's saying, hey, you cannot manifest until you own your trauma. So they tell you. They say, hey, you have to bring up the bad memory and you have to accept the bad memory in order for it to get out and move on into your life. So what a lot of people are doing, a lot of people are bringing up their old traumas. They're revisiting what made them the way they are right now. And they're thinking, oh, okay, so a lot of teachers, everybody's out there is telling me that, I have to bring up the thing that happened to me as a kid. I have to face it, I have to own up to it, and then it will move on and it will go away. No, no, no. A matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you something deep, because listen, a lot of people, a lot of individuals, it's like people out there are just telling people BS, bullshit. They're telling and teaching people stuff they have no concept of. They don't know how the mind operates. It's the analogy I like to use is like you have a mechanic that knows how to fix cars, and you have a person that just have knowledge of cars. They don't know how to fix and change a car, but they know what's wrong with the car. So these are these people out there, wherever they are, wherever you're watching, wherever you're reading, and they're telling people, yeah, man, you have to bring up your emotions. You gotta let me show you something. I'm gonna make it so logical and easy for you to understand, because I want you to think. This is why I put this information out, for you to think and make a decision for yourself. I'm not going to convince you. I'm going to show you evidence. I'm going to show you something about your mind. Then you make the final call. And a matter of fact, not only am I going to show you, it's going to be personal. What I'm going to say to you right now, you're going to feel it and experience. And you can comment below and tell me, bro, you're lying. This isn't true. Because I can guarantee you 100% it's going through all of your head. So check this out. If you're bringing up your old trauma, and you think by you facing your old trauma is going to release it, you're making a sad mistake. Because, okay, what part of the mind holds trauma? Your unconscious mind. What part of the mind is logical and illogical? Conscious is logical, unconscious, subconscious, illogical. So if you're bringing up your trauma, you know what you're telling your subconscious mind? I want more trauma. Bring up more trauma. Your subconscious mind cannot reason, cannot rationalize. It doesn't have the idea that, hey, I'm bringing up this trauma for you to fix it. All it says is, oh, we like trauma. So let me bring up the memory what happened to you when you were a kid. Let me bring up those emotions so you can feel it again, so you can cry. And then you say to yourself, all right, so I brought it up. So guess what? 4 days later, it comes back harder. Next day later, it comes back harder. All of a sudden, it starts coming up. All of a sudden, you're just like, wait a minute. I thought if I brought up my trauma, it would fix it. No, my friends, it doesn't work that way. So why would you do that? So here's the correct way to do this, people. You don't have to bring up trauma to release trauma. The reason trauma is stored is to protect you. That's what your mind is doing. Your mind says, hey, this stuff is making us bad, so let me hide it and protect you. But the side effect of the protection is you have self-sabotaging tendencies. So let me show you something, the easiest way to fix anything in your life. This information I'm going to reveal to you will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in therapy, psychologists, going to seminars, anything like this. I'm going to reveal it to you right now. This is going to save you a lot of money, heartache, and everything. I'm going to teach you something about your mind that a lot of people don't even know yet. I discovered this myself maybe 5 months ago. The universe, my higher self, gave me this information. The information I'm going to reveal to you right now will be in textbooks or will be in books years down the line. They haven't even caught on to this yet. It'll be a new way psychologists train you. It'll be a new way teachers will talk to you and show you something. This information, everybody does it right now. But let me show you something interesting. And you know how I discovered this information? From one of my coaching students. I told him to do something and he did it. And when he reported back to me, the light bulb went on, and I didn't even know what I told him to do, but it did, and now it worked. So here's how it works. All right. First, let me tell you about the mind. The thing about your mind is this. Your mind believes it's in control of you, right? The logical mind is the ego mind. Your logical mind is a smart mind. It does not like to be revealed. It doesn't like you to discover it. Once you discover your mind, what it really is, it's going to back off of you because it's smart. It's going to say, oh man, dang, this guy got me. This lady figured me out. I'm not going to waste my energy now trying to trick him. So let me go back to my regular routine, doubting, trying to figure stuff out. That's what the mind does. So here's what you do. Anytime you have a negative thought or any trauma, okay, you're going to get yourself a notepad and a pen. You're going to spend 1 week just observing the mind, writing down anything your mind says about you. Listen to your inner dialogue. Write down all the negative things it's saying to you. Go ahead and write down when the trauma. Okay, write down what the trauma felt like for you. You know what? This trauma made me feel low, very undervalued. This trauma made me feel insecure. Write them down. Take 1 week and do an inventory of your whole mind. Don't judge it. Just write it. After 1 week, go and read what you wrote down. As you're reading what you're writing down, your mind will start to erase whatever it is you were writing down. It will actually start to erase the trauma. The negative thoughts will start to dissipate. Have you ever heard anybody tell you that before? You're going to be the evidence. You're going to do this and you're going to see for yourself. As a matter of fact, I'm going to guarantee you something right now. After 2 days of doing this, just with the negative thoughts, they will stop coming in. Just after 2 days, people. Well, Mark, this is so genius. How does this work? Why didn't I see this before? Because here's something I discovered about the mind that no one else knows yet. And you're going to know it now. It's in your own mind. You see, people, your mind, as I said before, it likes to keep the blinds over you. When you write something down and you're reading it, you're initiating your conscious, logical mind. Now you're in reasoning and rational. So let me give an example. When you write down, the mind is saying, I'm not good enough, you're not worthy, you can't get that, you gotta have connections, why even waste your time, you always get the wrong stuff, you're always losing. Okay? Now when you read what your mind just wrote down and you read it, remember now, when you're reading something and you're looking at it, you're doing it what? In real time. You're doing it in the present moment. You're processing information in the moment. So in that moment, while you're reading whatever it is that the negative thought is coming to you, here is what you don't realize what's happening. While you are reading the negative thought, you are not aware that the negative thought that you're reading is not happening to you right now. If it's not happening to you right now, the logical part of the mind now starts to gain sense and say, oh, so this stuff is fake, it isn't real. Your ego now starts to recognize, oh, dang, this guy figured me out. All this negative stuff I was telling him, he sees that it's not happening. That's what it thinks. So you know what it does? It's going to give up on doing that because it says that's a waste of my time. Because when you read something, what are you going to do? You're going to comprehend it. You're going to analyze it. And you're doing it in the moment. And what you fail to understand is what you're reading in the moment is not even happening to you right now. That's the game changer of the conscious mind that no one knows. Once you write down something and you look at it, you expose it, the mind now will no longer try to bring it up. You see, the thing people don't understand is your mind likes to keep you in a trance. It likes to keep you hidden. It likes to take charge. When you expose the mind, it will run away from you. If you don't expose the mind, it's going to keep playing you. I'm trying to think of the best analogy I could give you, man. What is the best analogy that I can give? The only thing that comes to mind right now is something about the Wizard of Oz. That's what it's taken. So in the Wizard of Oz, there's this mighty wizard, right? And he's all knowing. And the people and the scarecrow and all those people like, man, this part. So when they go into the castle to meet the wizard, and they say, oh, the voice, oh, I'm powerful. Guess what the wizard was? It was a guy in the back room on a machine playing the game, acting like he was the wizard. And when they say, wait a minute, you're not the wizard, the guy runs on and says, oh, sorry, yeah, I'm not the wizard. When they find out he's not the wizard, what happened? What happens? Their mindset change. They understand that, okay, this is not real. The same way your ego works. So when you write something down and you look at it again, you are initiating and you are confirming that this thing isn't happening in the moment. Your mind is aware of that. Therefore, now your mind says you're onto it. So I'm repeating again so you can get this. When your mind says you're onto this, it will literally not bring the thought up. You go try it for yourself right now. I give in 2 days. If you do, first of all, let's do it with your negative thoughts. Go write your negative thoughts down, and I guarantee you, from the first time you're writing them down and you look at them, that thought will not start coming up again. It just won't happen. It's the same process. If you want something to happen, write it down in the present moment. That's why writing and scripting is so powerful. But people don't understand the concept of when you write something down about your thoughts, that it can actually leave you. It will go away. Now the secret is this: when you're going to do this, you have to make sure you're not in any judgment first. You have to be the observer. So you're not going to take offense. You're just going to sit back and watch them for a week so you can gather them. That's the secret that's going to make this work. It's not going to work now if you're monitoring each thought, and when you're writing down your thoughts, you're taking offense at it. You're like, man, why is my mind telling me? I can't believe you're saying this stuff. It's not going to work, because you're affirming that the mind is true. You have to do this without any judgment for this to be effective, because this is going from the conscious to the unconscious part of the mind. You see how that works? That saves you tons of money right there. Now back to the trauma thing. Now here's the next one. The trauma now. So now you know about trauma, and now how you can get trauma. So what do you do with trauma? Mark, should I bring up my trauma? Should I face my trauma, Mark? No, you don't have to face your trauma. You listen, guys, let me tell you the easiest way for you to get rid of trauma, man. Very simple. It's called subliminal program. It's called auto-hypnosis. I repeat it again: subliminal program, auto-hypnosis. I have a student of mine, and he came to me, and this is why I made this video, because I said I have to make this video because people are lost, man. He came to me, he says, Mark, I've been watching all these channels, all these spiritual teachers. They keep telling me, man, that I have to bring up what is holding me back in order to let it go. Mark, I have to find a closure to let things go. Mark, they told me that even if I use subliminals and I still have closure and I still have trauma, I will not manifest what I want. I'm here to tell you that is absolutely wrong, wrong, wrong. If you are following anyone that's telling you that bullshit, you need to unfollow, because they are just going to put your mind in deeper issues, because maybe they don't have any idea themselves. I don't know who these people are. I don't care who they are, but I have to teach you and show you the truth of how stuff works, and they have no idea how it works. Because let me go back to simplicity and show you something to open up your mind again. Okay, anything that is blocking you, that is traumatic, subliminals work 100% of the time. You can have the worst trauma in your life. If you use subliminals for 90 days, you will erase it 100% guaranteed. You do not, let me repeat, you do not need to bring up your trauma to experience it. If you want to bring up your trauma to experience it, and you bring it up, your mind is just going to keep reminding you and bringing up more of it, because it's illogical. Trauma is held in the unconscious, the non-thinking, the non-judgmental, the doesn't know how to think, process. So how the heck can you expect to release something by bringing it up? You have to tell it what to do. That makes no sense. Number one. Number two, the next thing is this: if you're bringing up your trauma, you are telling your mind, I want to relive it. Did anybody think about that? Well, Mark, why is that so? Because your mind is illogical. It's looking for patterns. Why the heck did your mind stuff it down in the first place? To protect you. So why the heck are you bringing it up again? Oh, hey, I thought you didn't want this. Oh, so we're going back to that show. We're going to bring it up. All right, so let's bring it up. Thanks. I'm going to put this on repeat and replay. Think, people, think. It's not your, listen, it's not your conscious mind that controls your trauma, people. Your conscious mind just experiences perceives the trauma. Trauma is controlled in the unconscious mind. So if you're out there and you're listening to people that are telling you, get closure, bring it up, they're telling you from a conscious perspective. They're not telling you from a subconscious implementation. So you're just going to get worse and worse and worse. And worse and worse and worse. It's more money for them. More therapy. Oh, come see me. Oh, it didn't work because, oh, I told you. It's just not working because you're not doing it right. You're just not letting it go enough. You're still holding on to it. Bring it up more. Gets worse. Pay me again. It's not going. Oh, give me more money. Oh, Mark, what's going on? Well, you're just not doing it. You got to keep bringing up your trauma till it comes out. But Mark, it keeps getting worse. That's a good sign. The trauma's going to release. The trauma ain't going nowhere. If you want to release any trauma, if you want to change your life, you have to use subliminals. Sleep at night while they play in the background, because they are the only information that can bypass conscious mind, critical divide of the mind, and get into the subconscious mind. That can only happen in theta state. You are never in theta state when you are awake. You're in beta state for 14 to 16 hours of the day. So if you're bringing up trauma, you are in a beta state and you're telling your subconscious mind to replay. Whenever you're in a beta state, your subconscious mind is on automatic replay state. It's just replaying what you're bringing up. Whenever you're in a theta state, your subconscious is open for change and play. You can tell the subconscious what you want to change. Hey, I like to change this information. I do that. So that's all you have to do. The next thing now about this thing is closure. You have been taught and conditioned that you have to have closure. This is why they tell you to bring up your trauma for closure, people. Closure is a myth. Closure is a lie. It's fake. Your mind doesn't operate with closure. It's your conscious mind that operates. Your ego wants closure to make itself feel like, oh, that's what happened. But your mind that does this doesn't give a crap about closure. It doesn't exist. So that means someone can literally ghost you today and dump you tomorrow or something, and you don't need to find out why, and you don't need to know why, and you will be just fine, and you will move on, and you'll manifest better. But if you're looking for closure, you're not going to be fine, because guess what? When you find a closure your mind gives you, guys, I have to break the news to you. It's not the real closure. You can't have closure, people, because no such thing exists. You got to understand how your mind works, guys. Everything that comes into your mind right now is information. That's all it sees is as information. It doesn't see it as I've been used, I was abused, I'm happy, I'm positive. It just sees information. It doesn't see, well, why did they do this to me? I need to find out why he left me or why she left me. I need to find out why he's not calling me. I need to find out why I didn't get the job. I need to call this guy. Hey man, can you tell me what I did wrong so next time I can be better at myself? Why did I not get this position? Can you tell me what my weak points are, what I need to work on? Why the hell you need to know that? Who cares? What is that going to do for you? Seriously. All it's going to do is just going to make your ego more egotistical. It's going to see, ego going to say, oh man, okay, so that's why I didn't get it. That's why I didn't work. Okay, thank you. But I got news for you. Your subconscious mind, people, is just seeing information. A matter of fact, if you keep looking for closure, you're just going to get more of not closure. So this, you can, now, you see, I'm painting a picture for you to show you how this stuff doesn't make any sense to you, because you're dealing with an illogical mind. So, okay, you have to realize that, people. A lesson in understanding how your mind works. Remember that. So if you have your trauma or your drama or anything, please, people, you don't bring it up. You don't need to bring it up. All right, let me tell you something. Okay, I'll give you another help you out for those who are stubborn and say, well, Mark, I got to bring it up because that's the only way I can feel I can survive. All right, if you are going to bring up any trauma in your life, guys, okay, I just told you don't need to bring it up, but go ahead. Okay, you want to bring it up. If you're going to bring up any trauma in your life, we live in a duality multiverse. The universe is a self-correcting code. Everything is about balance and harmony. All right, so we know that. So if you're going to bring up a trauma, you better bring up a solution for the trauma to replace it. If you don't bring up a solution for the trauma, you're going to experience more trauma. Example, if you're going to bring up your trauma, man, this happened when I was young. I was bullied. I just felt insecure. I didn't feel worthy. Okay, that's your trauma, because your mind's going to make you feel it. You better next go over and change the story of the trauma right there. Well, you know what? Being bullied and being low self-esteem actually was a good thing for me, because it made me a lot stronger. It made me more passionate. Yeah, that's going to work now, because you're changing the trauma. That's illogical. Your mind is illogical. Your mind will buy that. But I'm just telling you, you don't have to do that as well. You can do that if you want, but you don't definitely need to do it. The only thing you need to do to remove any trauma is subliminals. Every night. There's tons of them. Release trauma. Feel worthy and deserving. Feel better. It'll do the work for you while you sleep. And you get up in the morning. You don't have to bring it up, man. If you want to change your life, if you want to get rid of depression, if you want to get rid of anxiety, if you want to be more passionate, if you want to make more money, if you want to do all that stuff, you know what all those stuff lies in? How you feel. What you believe about yourself. Your true beliefs are not stored in your regular mind, people. Your true beliefs are stored in your unconscious mind, and they come up as emotions and habits. That's how they elicit, and that's how your world operates. So the only way, I'll say this again, the only way to get to that part of the mind is subliminals, auto-hypnosis, hypnosis, self-hypnosis. Those are the only ways you can ever get to in a deep-rooted part of the mind. As my famous line says, see how it works? Good. As long as you see how it works, you're in great shape. What can you do instead of subliminals? For what? What? If you want to change your life, if you want to become the best version, listen, if you want to win the lottery, if you want to manifest a house, if you want a car, if you want a career, if you want your business to make more money, the secret is all in subliminals. Tons of them. I have tons of subliminals I make. As a matter of fact, there was such a demand, I have to create a subliminal team. So I have a team that makes subliminals. So I make custom subliminals for you now. So you can find that. I'll have to post that somewhere. But subliminals. So what else can you do besides subliminals? Maintain the flow. That's all you have to do. You maintain the flow. Mark, how do I maintain the flow? By being positive, optimistic about your life. Always see the best outcome for your life. Never focus on problems. See solutions. See the end result. Never focus on how. See it done. That's what you do in the meantime. You don't have to figure out how your life is going to operate and change for you to become the best version of yourself. All you have to do is see your life the best outcome for yourself. The how automatically takes care of itself. Now, let me show you something. This is a great question. Someone says, Mark, I purchased your subliminals. I find them hard to listen to. That is great. That is brilliant. That shows you subliminals are working. Because let me tell you something about subliminals. When you're using subliminals and the change starts to take effect, your mind is going to resist the change. It's going to do a lot of tricks. You know what it'll do? I've actually seen it where it makes people take out their earbuds at night while they're sleeping. That's your subconscious mind to protect you. I can make you see where it gives people nightmares. They don't want to listen to it. It makes you tell your mind, say, hey, this isn't working. People, that's a part of the subconscious. Did you know your subconscious has a protective mechanism? It doesn't want you to change, so it's going to do all tricks. I've seen where people use subliminals make them literally sick. That's your mind fighting back. So if your subliminals, you say, Mark, they're hard to listen to, clap your hands. It means it's working. You better push on, man. Don't stop. If you stop, you cut it off. You didn't know that? Now you know. You'll get dizzy. You get a lot of nightmares. It means the information is starting to get in your subconscious. You see what happens is the subconscious mind is so illogical. It protects you by whatever, even if the information is negative, it doesn't see it negative. It just sees that this is what I'm used to. Oh, I'm being threatened. There is new information coming in. I don't want this new information. I don't care if it's positive or good for me. I like the old information. So let's what? We have to keep things status quo. Let me send some nightmares to you. Let me make you feel a little sick. Let me make you consider using this. Let me tell your conscious mind to tell you that this isn't working. Let me make you take your earbuds out while you're sleeping, man. That's all unconscious. It doesn't want you to listen. But when you fix it, if you keep doing it, this is why you have to do it for 90 days. 90 days. Because when you start to do it, what happens is that information bombards more. The more positive information is going to overwhelm the subconscious that it's going to have to release and accept it. So after a few days, the nightmares go away, the dizziness stops. You don't start pulling, and then after a week or two, you're like, wow, this stuff. And after a month, wow, this is working. I start to feel different. I start to be better. That's what you need to know about subliminals. So if you're someone that's using subliminals and you feel a lot of resistance, you better clap your hand and keep going, because it means it's working. If you're using them and none of that is happening, it's probably not working. Every time you use subliminals, you are going to face some type of resistance. Either you get up in the morning, you'll feel a little bit moody, you feel a bit off. That's good, it's working. Your mind is now in a barrier between two information. The more you use it, the better you become. That's just how your mind is set up. I have to say it again and I repeat it. Your mind has protective mechanism. Its job is to protect the program. So if anything is threatening the program, it's going to fight back. It's going to fight back by using two things. It's going to use your emotions and it's going to use your conscious thinking mind. Remember, people, your subconscious controls your habit. It makes you do stuff that you can't control doing. For example, sleeping. There are people who sleep at night and during their sleep, they go and take out their AirPods. And then 5 hours later, when they wake up in the morning, they look and their AirPods are right on the side of the bed. And they say, how did that happen? That's how powerful your mind is when it doesn't want to change a program. So you know what I do? I tell people, I said, don't even use the AirPods anymore. Don't even use earphones at the wireless one, because they'll pull it out. Get the ones with the head cover on it, or get a Bluetooth speaker where your mind is forced to listen to it. There's no getting away from that. That's to show you how powerful your mind is when it doesn't want to change. All right. And I'll see you guys again next time.